Hey, hey, Adam. What's going on? I have no idea how many people might tune in for this kind of spontaneous live event, but I got bored and I was playing around with something here, so I figured, I was gonna do a video, but then I was like, that's too much work. Why don't I just go live? Hey, James. Well, I appreciate you putting Happy Gilmore to the side. Hey, hey, Blue Oval. I thought I'd do something a little different and take a look at some Magnatraction chassis. I was running a car that just wasn't good, one of my older Magnetraction cars, and I started taking it apart, and I ohmed out the, if I could get this on camera here. You guys able to see that? Kinda, sorta. So this is the standard red wire Magnetraction motor plate. It's supposed to be around 15 ohms, but look at this thing. 45 ohms, 23 ohms on these two. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing, but this is what I would have expected it to look like. 15, 16 ohms, somewhere around there from all three. Yeah, like that. It's another red red wire armature. So that got me thinking, why don't I talk a little bit about some of the different Magnetraction, well, not different Magnetraction, but some of the different things you could do to Magnetraction chassis. I realized I have quite an array of things that I've done to my chassis with different strength magnets and different ohm armatures. So thought we can chat a little bit about this. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I got the air conditioning on here in the garage. So what I thought we could look at first are some of the different armatures. So this is a newer armature that I've been getting from Jag Hobbies. This is their mean green armature. And if you ohm out this armature, you'll see this comes in at around 6 ohms. Now I am losing about 0.4 ohms touching my lead, so you really got to subtract 0.4. So these are actually a little bit below. This is like a 5.7, 5.8 ohm armature, which is pretty good compared to a standard red ohm, which is well, I live in Florida. It's summer all the time. So there are a number of different like 15 ohm armatures in different colored wires. I mean, these have red tips and red wire. This has kind of orange wire with red tip, but these are all like 15 ohm standard armatures. And then there's a number of different 6 ohm armatures. So this is, like I said, one that's readily available from Jag that I've been using. It's pretty strong, good running armature. And that's what I have in this car as well. This is a Christmas tree armature, but this is a 6 ohm armature. The green and red. And this is another 6 ohm. This actually has green wire and green tip. But you always want to kind of ohm out your armatures just to be sure. Because this is actually, this looks just like the armature that's in this mean green motor plate from Jag, but this is actually an armature that came out of a Auto World motor plate. And if you measure this is actually a 15 ohm armature. It's not 6 ohm, even though it looks the same. So take an ohm meter and just ohm either right across the plates, but each one of these from here to here, from here to here, here to here, and here to here should be the same value in all 3 locations, and it'll tell you. And the lower the ohms, the more powerful the motor is. So, yeah, so I have several 6 ohm mean green armatures, but they look different. So this is green wire with green tip. This is kind of gold wire with a green tip, red and green, but these are all 6 ohm armatures. These are both 15 ohm, but this has red and red. This is like gold and red. Yeah, DeFalco makes a nice controller, that's for sure. A lot of us are running them. So, hey Rick, we're just kind of talking about Magnatraction chassis and different motor plates and different armatures. I kind of just went over, I'm sure most of you guys know all this, but I had a, yeah, the cheaper one with the one, yeah, that's a 505, like the mayor said, DD 505. But I had a bad motor plate in one of my Magnatraction cars. Next, I wanted to talk about some different front tires that you can get. Now, I prefer these skinny tires personally, but you can get the wider ones. Jag does sell both. They make reproduction ones that are like original. But kind of watch out if you go on eBay. They'll sell you front tires that are basically just like an O-ring. And I don't like how these fit at all when you put them on. They're very skinny. I mean, they work, obviously, if your tire is falling apart and this is all you have. But then there are these ones that are supposed to be like the original. They say Goodyear on one side, but the other side is like this flaky looking plastic. And these things are cheap. They don't stay on well. They're very flimsy. I highly recommend staying away from these. I bought these off of eBay and was very disappointed when I got them. They work, but they come off. They don't stay on very well. They come off pretty easy. But these reproduction ones that Jag makes, and you can get these. I got these off of eBay. Came in a bag. I got 10 pairs of them. They don't say Goodyear on them, but they're good quality like the original. They're They're a little bit thicker. They look the same on both sides. And more importantly, they stay on really well. You can get that to focus. They got a little bit of a flat, nice flat edge to them. So these are the tires I prefer. I would stay away from these O-rings and these mushy ones that are only finished on one side. Yeah, I'm not going to get that advanced or into it, Mike. I don't know about the laminations. I just look for, I like running a 6 ohm armature or a 15 ohm armature, but I don't, if you have info on the laminations, that's great. I'm just kind of pointing out some of the basics, like 101 of ohming out an armature and seeing what value it is. I'm not a pancake motor expert by any means. I mean, I know enough about AFX, Magnatraction and non-Magnatraction. I mean, these are the cars that I started with as a kid in the mid to late 70s, so they'll always have a little bit of a special place in my heart, so to speak. But if you're looking for a decent replacement and you want to upgrade from some of these 15 ohm armature red wire, for $6 and change off a Jag, you can get these mean green I think they're $6.75, so just under $7. I believe they also sell just the armature if you want to put your own armature on, but I had bought a bunch of these and put them in some of my cars. Hey, Roski. Wow, 20 people. I didn't think I'd get 20 people watching this on a Sunday night. Next thing I wanted to talk about was magnets. So you have your stock red and white magnet that you can get, that comes with the car from AFX back in the day. And these come in on my downforce meter at around 32. And you could get the Pro 7 magnet from Viper or Hardin Creek that I prefer. This is actually my go-to magnet. This comes in at, I mean, look at that difference from stock. So you're going from 30 something to over 100. Definitely a big improvement over stock for downforce. Dash green Mambas are my fave AFX chassis magnet. Okay. The magnet is called the green Mambas. I run my Viper track at 18, a little over 18 volts. So the Pro 7s with a 6 ohm mean green armature, I like how they run. They do run really, really well to me. That's kind of my go-to. but I'm lazy. I don't like to crawl under my table and change the voltage on my track, so I almost always leave it at 18.5 volts because that's what I run my Viper, my higher downforce cars at. And again, I am not a Magnatraction or a pancake motor expert by any means, but I just thought I'd share some of the stuff I've bought over time and what I kind of use and show some of the different things that are out there. Um, the next magnet you can get is a Pro 10 level magnet. These to me were way too strong. I mean, it's coming in at 150 compared to the stock magnet, which was in the 30s. I'll have to check out the ones you're talking about, Michael, and try those out. And then, yeah, so these Pro 10s, I just bought a pair just to kind of play around with them and see how they felt, but they were definitely too strong to me. And even stronger, actually, are these 1500 Gauss magnets that Jag sells. This is coming in at 163. So I have these in one of my cars, and I mean, the car sticks and handles very well, but it takes a lot of the fun out of a Magnatraction car. I mean, it just doesn't, even with a mean green armature, it's, it doesn't come off. It's too strong of a magnet. I don't know about that, Adam. The auto world cars but they're not great. Wow, level 42s and 52s in T-Jet? Huh. What about those cheaper ones from the video? Not sure what you're talking about, Rosky. Cheaper ones for what? So we could take a look at total downforce if you guys are interested. So this is stock magnets, stock Magnatraction car. I haven't done anything to this other than put some better tires on it. And this is pulling like a 19. Not much downforce. This is a 15 ohm armature with the Pro 7 magnets. And that gets you about, almost twice the strength of, what did I say this stock one was? Yeah, about 18, 17, 18. So the Pro 7s, they get you up around 30, 35-ish, somewhere around there. It's almost twice as strong as the stock magnets. These all have Pro 7s because that's my go-to. Except for this one. This one has the 1500 Gauss. You can see that goes from the 30s up to into the mid 50s. So definitely more downforce. Yeah, that's the 1500 Gauss. They are cheap, but they're very strong actually. To me, they're just a little too strong. So even though they're affordable, they're half the price. I think they're only like $350 a pair or something like that. But they're just too strong, really. They They don't work well to me. Too strong. I mean, if you want your Magnatraction car to handle great and not come off the track, then they're not that much fun to drive, though. Because it's just like squeeze the trigger and watch it go. Yeah, I'm not a T-jet guy, so I really can't comment on T-jet magnets. Michael sounds like he knows his stuff as far as pancake motor cars go. So. Yes, you do want to match, since the only magnets in the car are the motor magnets, and it's important to match the motor magnets, which is where a meter like this comes in handy, or even that other meter I have from VRP, which gives you the individual strength. But like what Michael is saying, I have a bunch of original AFX magnets in here. So you can take these magnets and try and find two of them that are as close as possible to being matched, because your motor will run truer if you have the same strength magnet. Wow, that's a huge difference. That one's only 23. That one's coming in at 40. Wow. That's a pretty strong magnet. 38. No, that one's 30 on that side. Oh, it's because I have tape on it. That's another little thing you could do. You could shim these magnets so they don't shake and move around. I was putting tape on them to make them be a little bit tighter in the slot, but it's preventing this magnet from sitting flat. That's why it's not reading properly. But yeah, you can get one of these meters and check the individual strength of your magnets and try and find matching pairs. I'm not a competitive Magnatraction or pancake motor racing guy, but I know like the Fray guys and serious T-Jet guys, that's an important thing. I bought these whole motor plate from Jag Hobbies. They sell the Magnetraction Mean Green. This is a 6 ohm. But there were a number of places. OS3 TFX has some decent armatures. Dash, if you're looking to just get the actual armature. I don't know if you're talking about the whole motor or just the armature itself, but I don't have the greatest. I only have this little this little puller here, which is a pain in the butt, but you can get it to pull off this gear and change armatures, but this thing is hard to work with. It's a pain in the butt. But again, I'm not like a competitive pancake motor. I don't race these at all in my club. We don't race pancake type cars. This is just for my own enjoyment. I like to run Magnatraction cars every now and then on my track. And as far as the rear tires, I use these tires that I get from Viper, actually. They're a good quality silicone tire, and they fit really well. They bring the car down a little bit. I've kind of settled on using these tires on my Magnatractions. So I have the same tires on all these cars. And we could take a look. I thought we'll see. I'll run the dyno at I run everything at 18 volts, so I'm going to run the dyno at around 18 volts, and we'll see. So this is the stock car. This car actually runs pretty decent for a 15 ohm armature. I mean, it's kind of bouncing around, so you can see not very balanced, but it's not a bad number for a 15 ohm armature. This is another 15 ohm armature with the Pro 7 magnets. This I would have expected. Now I will say this whole car I got from Scott recently, and it wasn't really running very good when I got it. So this has been taken apart and cleaned and has new brushes and springs in it. So this car is recently tuned up, and it kind of shows it in the speed that we're getting out of it. The rest of these cars have been sitting on my shelf for quite a while, and they haven't been cleaned or tuned up in a long time. I can tell you that. So that may be why this particular chassis, for a completely stock, runs pretty good. This car with stronger motor magnets, same armature, I'm only getting like a little over 2. It's not bouncing around as much, but it's not balanced by any means. So I know that TFX OS3 sells balanced armatures. They're like, I think, $30 just for the armature plate itself. So a little pricey, or maybe it was $15. I don't remember. And yeah, I've come across some other sources online for balanced pancake motor. They can get pretty pricey. Yeah, I haven't played around with, I'm sure if I put better hubs or wheels, I don't know, you guys call these wheels or hubs? I call them hubs, but I guess wheels. And this is a tire, so, okay, wheel or hub. Yeah, I've never actually bought any aftermarket better wheels. I'm sure they would probably run much truer. Hey, Josh. Yeah, most of my guide pins are the El Cheapo plastic ones from AFX. I have a couple of them. This one came with a metal guide pin, but so this is a mean green armature with Pro 7 magnets. That's getting closer to 3. It's also bouncing around pretty good. Not too bad though. I mean, you put an Auto World. Yeah, let's do that. I think this will be fun. Let's see. So this is an Auto World Extraction Chassis, completely stock. Let's see if this thing will even run. Oh my God, the pickup shoes are not even touching. It's so out of whack that it won't even stay on the. I have to hold it in. Yeah, I will admit the Auto World 4 gears do run much better. So here's another 6 ohm Pro 7. Seems to be the number, high 2s. Same thing with this one, 6 ohm. This is actually a pretty good running car. This thing is pretty well balanced. Pretty smooth actually. It's not really bouncing around that much. Must have got lucky with the hubs or wheels being fairly true. And the magnets matching fairly true. Now this is the 1500 gals with a mean green armature. Yeah, see, so that's getting up over 3 with those stronger magnets. So definitely runs pretty quick. Although again, those magnets are just a little too strong for my liking. Yeah, tell me about it, Michael. I paid way more than I would like to have for that damn dyno, but I really wanted one, so. I don't know, baby pop, as far as why the four gears just seem to run better out of the package than the extractions do. I don't know why that is. Hey, Keith. Now, as far as pickup shoes for my Magnatractions, I've been using these. I don't know if this focus. I've been using these ones with the step in them that I also get from Viper or Hardin Creek. They're usually pretty true. They let me see. On the tech block, that step usually is pretty true. There isn't much tweaking that you really have to do to them. So I've been pretty happy with these pickup shoes. Some guys don't like the steps; they'd rather just a completely flat. Kind of like that one. These are older shoes. I think these are actually silver shoes. I think that's why I left those on there. But these are a pretty decent shoe. I bought a bunch of those, so I have those on a number of my cars. They seem to stay pretty clean too. No, we know that, Keith. I don't mess with Auto World. I just am pointing out that, how it is. But some people don't know any better. Or that's what their budget allows. And if you're looking for a pancake motor, Magnatraction type experience, let's face it, a Super 7 is not that. It's way more downforce. That's a much higher end car, so it's kind of a different class of a car. Yeah, Mike, definitely I pointed that out when I was building that drag car for, this is a 4 gear AFX, and their cluster gear is a lot more stable than the one that Auto World has. It just moves all over the place and bounces around. I tried to compress the rivet that holds it in on the Auto World one to make it a little more stable. Unfortunately, these AFX plates don't work in the Auto World chassis. $169. That's pretty cheap. That maybe maybe there was something wrong with it. Sent two back. I have some. Is the Ultra G like the T-Jet? I have a couple of these little Volkswagen Bugs that my kids like, and you know these actually run right out of the package. They ran fine. It's just those X tractions that really just don't run good. I don't know what it is with that chassis, but yeah, these little Beetles they run fine. Oh, I'm sure they would. I'm sure there's all kinds of things you could do to. I mean, I know there are all kinds of things you could do to make the pancake motor chassis. I mean, just look at what they do. A fray. My God, that's crazy. What do you think? Should we take a few laps with some of these cars? Run the bugs too? Okay, hold on. Let me actually, my track is off. I wasn't sure how much I was going to do or who was even going to show up tonight. So I'm not going to do any times or anything like that. We'll just run them around the track. See if I can adjust this. Sorry, guys. I don't know what my wife and daughter are watching in there, but I hear like opera singing. I hope you guys can't hear that, but I hear it. They're like cranking up the TV in the living room. I don't know what they're watching. Something I'm definitely not interested in. Hey, Kenny. That's not true, Mayor. You race just fine. None of us are pros. I race against pros, and believe me, I can feel it. All right, we'll run a couple of different setups here. So this Porsche is the completely stock, other than the rear tires, Magnatraction. Whoa. It does take you a little getting used to. As you know, I'm an inline motor, high downforce kind of guy. So when I get the Magnatraction going, I can send them right off the track. So this is the stock magnets. This is, let me see if I could find, what is that? That's a mean green armature. Hold on. All right, so this is a 15 ohm red armature with the Pro 7 magnets, so a little bit stronger magnets. Definitely feel the downforce has improved, the handling. These cars haven't been run in a while. They probably need to have the pickup shoes cleaned. So I could feel with this weaker motor and these Pro 7 magnets that the car is, I mean, it handles better, but I could almost go full throttle without it really coming off the track. So if you're going to put these Pro 7 magnets or stronger, you definitely want a stronger motor. Like this, with the stock weaker magnets, this car, well, see it, it's much faster. But you got to drive it. It doesn't handle anywhere near as well. This is a Pro 7 with mean green. This is one of my faster cars. This one runs pretty good. This Camaro, pretty quick. This is the combo I like. The Pro 7 magnets with the mean green armature, and my track at 18.5 volts. I have fun running these cars. Oh, took that turn a little too soon. This is another same setup, Pro 7. Pro 7 mean green in this Datsun. Yeah, I could see that, Michael, where running these at a little bit lower voltage, they behave a little more. These are all Magnatraction cars, Kenny. I had cleaned all the tires before I went on camera with my tape, so we have some clean rubber. Hey, if any of you guys are ever in the West Palm Beach area, look me up. You're always welcome to come race. Let's see how this Beetle runs. Oh wait, you know what? So this is the 1500 gals car, this Golf car, and you can feel those magnets are strong. I mean, this thing sticks to the track. It's almost like running the high downforce, like a stock V-spec. Push that a little too hard. And we'll run the little Beetle. This is completely stock. A little noisy, but it stays on the track. More than I could say for the extract. Oop, took that turn a little too fast. The extraction chassis. Oh. Those are all Magnatraction cars. Nobody's home. Yeah, that was kind of the whole topic tonight was Magnatraction cars. I was messing around with some of my Magnatraction cars earlier, and one of them wasn't running too good, and discovered that the armature was not in very good condition. And yeah, then I just started looking at all my different setups and thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about the Magnatraction chassis for a change. Not that I'm a pancake motor expert by any means, but I like the combination I settled on for my Magnatraction cars, and I have fun running them. I think they run pretty good, and if people are looking to maybe hop up their Magnatractions a little bit, there's some definitely some options out there. So. But yes, definitely not usually what you see on Mark's Slot Car Garage, huh? Usually you'll see Vipers flying around this track. You know, I tried having a Magnatraction race night, but my kids don't like them because they can't drive them. They're too spoiled with either the Mega G Plus or Viper. They don't want to make the effort to keep a Magnatraction on the track. So, and even the guys I race with, they're either T-Jet guys or inline motor guys. When I want to run Magnatractions, it's usually me by myself, like tonight, doing it. Oh yeah, I wouldn't even attempt to give my kids a T-Jet. They'd be like, "What the heck is this?" I don't have a lot. I only have one. I literally only have one running original. Well, no, I take that back. I bought a few recently from my buddy, so I now have 3 decent running T-Jets. I have this El Camino. That's a T-Jet, and this little Cobra original, all shined up. But yeah, if I were to put this a car that runs like this, my kids would look at me like I'm stoned. It only takes about 20 seconds to go around the track. Yeah, I'm the same way. Nobody's home. The Magnatraction were when I was like 12, 10, 12, 13. That's what, all the cars that's all we had. And all my buddies, we had like a half dozen kids that we used to race up in my neighbor's attic. He had the only 4-lane AFX track, and we had a little racing club, and it was a bunch of 13-year-olds racing Magnatractions. But it was good. It was fun. It was good times. That's why I will always have a place for Magnatraction cars here. Yeah, those tires do get dirty quick. Yeah, I'm 58, so close enough. Uh-oh, nobody home. He's at retirement age. He's getting there. '44. Oh yeah, you got a ways to go yet, Sims. Oh, nice. Nobody's home. I hope, hopefully in a few more years, 4 more years or so, I'll retire, but not yet. I know, I feel the same way, although I do talk to people and they tell me that there are younger people getting into it, but I don't see it, at least on the HO side. Maybe the larger scale, more younger generation is into it, but I don't really see it personally. As far as wherever I race, it's always old guys like us in our, 50s, if you're in your 40s, that's like considered young for HO racing. It's usually 50s, 60s, even 70-year-olds running them. Yeah, I hear you, Mayor. I try to think like a 20-year-old as well. I'm sure my wife would tell you I am a juvenile. I have a couple of teenage kids that live in my neighbors actually. I don't know them too well, but the kid was shooting basketball out in the yard. And my wife went over to him, and I guess she told him about, he's probably maybe, I don't know, maybe 15. And she explained the track and if he wanted to come over and race, and she said he looked at her like, oh, okay. He didn't sound too thrilled about it. But at least he was outside playing basketball. Hey, Henry. That's good to hear, Keith. Yeah, you know, my buddy Ralph, who I got that El Camino from, he comes over and races a lot with me on Sunday. His son came over. His son's a little older. He's in his 30s. He loved it. He loved the competitive racing with the lap timer and actually running a race. He was really into it. He just has a very young son, so he's very busy with the kids, so he doesn't have a lot of time to come over and race. But I don't know. I think that most people that when they actually get that controller in their hand and run a few laps, what's not to like, right? How can you not like it? Yeah. Hopefully this hobby lasts and sticks around. I mean, it's been going for a long time now. I think it'll keep going. I've seen the dad with his daughter racing the 132nd. Yes, I have seen them. I don't watch a lot of the larger scale, and I don't know, maybe that's just me. I'm kind of stubborn. I'm like an HO guy. I don't even have enough time to watch all the HO content that I want to watch, let alone watching the larger scale. But I have seen that father and daughter. I don't know how I just stumbled upon them. I think they were actually at a competitive, some kind of race event when I saw them. Always good to see. I think you gotta like to tinker too. You know, you gotta like to tinker with the cars, and that I have a lot of fun just tearing a car apart and rebuilding it. I could do that all night. Sometimes I do. I take cars apart and rebuild them, and they don't even really need to be taken apart, but I do it anyway. Alright, Michael, now you're just getting way too detailed. I know about the H. Well, I'm going to call it HO. We're racing HO. I'm not going to say 164. Come on, give me a break. But yes, I mean, you can see the difference. I mean, when you put a T-Jet next to a Mega G Plus, it's like, my God, it's like twice the size of the car. But they're not, you know, they're the smallest scale, whether you call it HO or 187, 164. We lump it all into HO. Yeah, I'm with you. Nobody's home. I just call it HO because it's easy to say HO. All right, let me clean up some of this stuff, put some of these cars away. Well, that was kind of fun talking about something other than Vipers and Fusions, at least for a little while. All right. Oh, there's that sound I love. I feel better. Hey, Keith. Yeah, I'm getting ready to sign off myself. Getting a little bit late. Gotta get up for work because I'm not retired yet. Although I work from home, so it's not like I have to drive anywhere. But I still complain that I have to get up for work. Yeah, no, you definitely need, when you're running cars that fast, you want to have as big a track. I mean, even this is not that big. This is only 14 feet. I would have loved to have had a 16-foot track, but I just couldn't quite fit it in the garage here. It would have been too tight of a fit, but I'm happy with what I have for sure. I took the other track down. I still have it. It's just in its original box. It's actually a super international set and a 4-lane split. I bought two AFX 4-lane tracks back in the, it might have been late 90s or early 2000s. I still have the original boxes and I just put it back in the box and it's under my bed. So I had both going for a while, but nobody was racing on the AFX track. It was sitting on my what's now these workbenches over here in this little kind of cubby nook area is where I had the AFX track, and it was literally collecting dust. So I made the decision to reclaim this workspace, and I took the AFX track down. So. I could jump on Discord for a little bit. Yeah, we could do that. I'll sign off here. I'm just going to clean up a little bit. I took some of my cars apart because I wanted to show different things. So I got to put these cars back together. Although I might just do that tomorrow. But, or while we're talking on Discord, maybe I'll put those back together. Oh, I drank my last Stella. I got to make a beer run. Yeah, thanks, Michael. Appreciate you chatting. All right, guys. I will chat with you guys soon. Well, I'll chat on Discord, whoever joins us there. And then I think Scott's going on tomorrow night, hopefully. So if you guys join Scott tomorrow, I'll chat with you guys there too. So if not, have a great week, and I'll talk with you guys soon. Bye.